illegal, immoral, unethical. No, because you're trying to twist my words.
Trying to find and divulge information that's not for you to know.
Today's October 10th, 2019. I'm here today with 19 at 158. Go ahead and spell your last name for me. Okay. And myself, Corporal John Ramsey, and
Deputy First Class David Mittiga.
we just do that so if somebody has to type this out, they know who's speaking. All right, so you called us because you said you had information. Just let me do a little bit of background here so we are on the tape with it. You were the prior landlord for Jeremy Dewitte?
Correct.
Okay, and where was the address for that? Myself and Sergeant Vidler came in contact with you about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and because you were having issues with him, and you were trying to figure out, I guess, on how to either evict him, or I'm not sure exactly. That was something you discussed with Sergeant Vidler. But we have talked briefly before, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today, you were trying to get a hold of Sergeant Vidler or myself, and you wanted to come in and talk. What was it that you wanted to talk? And then you also said you were going to bring in some paperwork, like that you had generated contracts or something to that effect between you and Jeremy, correct?
Letter of intent.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So go ahead and tell me what's going on.
Well, I'm probably going to break it down. I met this guy at June 14 or 15. He showed up at my gate. June
Of what year?
2019. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah. He called me because I have a for rent sign. He said, "Look, I'm a such and such. I have ambulance. I have motorcycles. I have police cruisers. I'm a private investigator for funerals and procession." And he said, "I'm looking for a better place." And I said, "Well," I said, "we'd be happy to talk." So I said to him, I said, "Are you the gentleman in Silver Star Road?" He said, "No, I'm at the storage yard at 441. And I remember that area. I said, "Okay." So that afternoon he showed up about 4 o'clock. He kept his appointment 100%. He showed up with a truck with lights. I mean, it looked like a police cruiser. He had a full uniform. He had a bulletproof vest. He had a gun on his side. He had I think, handcuffs on his side, another gazer or whatever. And I said, "Don't arrest me." And he introduced himself, and he says, "I'm Jeremy Dewitte, and I'm the gentleman to call you." I said, "Well, welcome."
Does he go by any other names or nicknames or anything?
Jay.
Jay?
Yes. I didn't know it was Jeremy till somebody told me that he was anyway, I'll get to that.
Okay.
So anyways, he came in and he showed me what he had in mind. The property is about 4 acres. I've done very well. I started there over almost 30 years ago. So I'm on my way to kind of relax a little bit and enjoy the family I get. The day that she had the baby was the day before I got involved with this man. And he had to have... We went to Tampa to look at a tow truck because he wants to open up an ambulance, tow yard, bonding company, and security for police for cars to be picked up. I said, "Hey, I got 4 acres. You're welcome to use all of them," because that's what I done before. I did have a storage yard before with other companies. So to make a long story short, he asked me if I want to go to Tampa because he wants to purchase a tow truck to start that business. I said, "Why not?" So we drove to Tampa. He drove with this cruiser, 90 miles an hour. I said, "Don't you ever worry about it?" I said, "No." He says, "They look at my unit. They know who I am." Okay. We went there. We looked at the tow truck. It was all white with just a tow truck and not a flatbed. We talked to the gentleman. He wanted $15,000. He had a bill of sale that I took a picture of it. He had a title that I took a picture of it. And I said, "We'll let you know." Jeremy J introduced me, said he's my guy that's going to help me purchase this unit. The next day he called me and he was in the hospital having a baby. And she already lost one. So I was told, get it today, which it was the 21st of June. He said, somebody else's. I said, Jeremy, I have my daughter in the hospital. I said, I'm up here. I said, I can't write you a check. He said, no. He said, you won't even take a check. He said, if I don't show up with money, the thing is done. I said, look, I don't do magic. He said, is there any way that you can make this happen? To make a long story short, I left my wife and my daughter in the hospital up in Seminole County. And I went to get the money for him, and I went back to the lot in Seminole County. And him and his wife was sitting in the same truck that I drove. I didn't drive. I was a passenger. I gave him the cash. I made sure he counted it. And
did you have him sign anything for it?
Nothing.
Okay. And how long did you know him by that time?
5 days, 6 days. But he impressed me. I asked him for his ID. I want to check him out, who he is. He says, look, you're welcome to send me a little text message on it. He says, the sheriff's office, Orange County, the police chief in Orlando, which is John here, and the mayor of Orlando, they all know me. I said, look, our policy in our company is I need to know who you are. I need your driver's license. Well, to this day, I still don't have his driver's license. And he bought the vehicle. 3 hours later, he texted me. He sent me the picture. And I can't thank you enough for my dream to come true. And I think I probably showed you guys that before, but I have it with me. And thank God that my daughter did have a baby that night. And it's been downhill. What really started it is you want to open up the ambulance, the tow truck, the bonding company, and I'm the one to say, look, I used to be a youth independent dealer. I said, if you want it and you're going to have a staff here, I can talk to the manager, which is the same guy that I deal with. His name is Tom. I can get him back here if you want a deal. I said, the only thing you have to do is you have to treat a customer. You have to treat a guy already a little upset to get thrown out, there is a divorce, whatever, for it coming out of my ear. I got him involved and did it before. My wife has a brother still in Canada that he had cancer. They give him short time. So I got in the car and I drove to Canada with my wife and I. Thank God he's still alive, but he's pretty bad shape. So whenever I call him, he says he's blocking the stuff and he's got all these U-Haul trucks. He said, can you talk to him? So I called him and I said, Jay, why you're parking your trucks in the middle of the yard? And why would you park the U-Haul truck on top of the septic tank? I said, you're going to bust it. You're going to go in there. Anyway, I finally came back and I said, look, we need to talk. I gave him the key to the office because he wanted to start to have an office there. When I came back, my office key was changed. I told him that I need an office because here I don't have an office. I'm going to have a problem. He said, I can't give you a key to the office until you give me another office because this got drugs in here. You have to sign an affidavit. If something happens in here, I'm going to be in trouble. Anyway, to make a long story short, I finally said, you know what, this is not working out.
What kind of drugs did he have in there?
Well, because he has ambulance, and the ambulance he had to lock up too because they have drugs for the patients or people with injuries. But I've never seen those ambulances go anywhere, so I didn't know. But before this happened, I met a girl. Her name is Jessica. Is a nice lady. She works across the street here. She's a bonding company, and she's going and sells insurance. Well, he introduced me to her. That it was her partner. So when I met her...
He said that was his partner?
That's what she told me. That's what he told me. Jessica.
Okay.
And I do have a picture of her with her driver license.
Let me see. Can I see it?
Yeah.
And he said this is his partner.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And she works at the bonding. What bonding agent?
Right across the street.
Talking about like for the bondsman, for the
Bond-
jail
for
bondsman.
for the jail, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. This is the truck that he bought that I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and see the note, see the date on it? I think it's the 21st of June.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. The young lady picture is in here too. There she is. And you can see the date on that too. That was his partner.
So it is
A couple weeks after I met him, I think.
Bolden, Jessica Denise Bolden.
And she was a very nice lady. In fact, every time we had a meeting, she would come with him. And I was having better communication with her than I was with him. So we come to the point, I said, from now on, anything to go on, you text her, so that way you guys can talk to each other. Well, the day that he came in and we signed a little piece of paper that I can show you, he says she's no longer the B, no longer involved with me. And I don't give a F if I ever see her again. And I said, would you do buy her out? He says, none of your effing business. And I'm saying to myself, wow. Because, we meet up at Panera Bed up in Longwood. Nice, and can I get your drink or whatever? And before I know it, because she was black. And I can show you the words exactly what he used for that.
Now, is that his girlfriend too, or just his business partner?
No, he showed me the picture of his wife. He said, no, he says, I love my wife, and in fact, my wife lost a baby, and I said, I'm sorry, and my daughter went through the same thing. That's why I don't want to go anywhere. I said, I pray that, good Lord, and she has a healthy baby.
Yeah.
So I felt, compassion with him. He says, we can't have a baby, and that's the second one that died. And I said, look, my daughter went through the baby, so.
Now, what was her phone number?
I got my cheater.
That's fine.
Oh, by the way, I spoke to her about 4 or 5 days ago because her father is supposed to be her father that helped us close in that area where it's closed in. By the way, I talked to your friend with the boat
guy.
He finally found a place. He was
good for him.
so happy to see for me, and yeah. Anyways, you're probably still rolling there, so we have to stick to the.
Yeah, you're fine. I mean, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, her phone number is. Bear with me, Jessica. Let me see if I have it in this side here. Bear with me, guys. I have a smartphone with a dumb driver. Okay, back to this. That one.
So you're saying you talked to what are you looking for? So you talked to her about 5 days ago?
Yes, and I said to her, what's going on? But before this, the day that I had an argument with him, and I have it in my phone, I said, look, the gentleman that did your work for you, I said, he was a wonderful guy. I said, he's the father, and I said, he's been helping you, and he's helping us. I don't know if you want me to say exactly what you said.
That's
because
fine.
It's a lot of F on it.
Whatever. You're repeating what somebody else said?
Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah. He says, that black bitch is not her father. It's just another nigger. That she went out and got another nigger to help me, and he's no effing father of her. So when I called her 3 or 4 days ago, I didn't let on anything like that. I said, because he gave me his card, but he didn't get along with Jay.
Mm-hmm.
So when I call her, I say, I would like to see your father if he wants to finish, because I bought over $8,000 worth of steel. I don't know, I think if I mentioned to you or not, I bought the steel for the top and the side. So now I got that product that I ordered through Home Depot and Lowe's to my specification. So indirectly, I own it. Because when you buy steel, it's made for a certain roof, and they won't take it back. So, and he has not called me back. But she didn't let on anything, and I said, I'm going to be involved. So I read between the two lines. To me is, the way you said it, it's none of my fucking business who he's fucking. And his wife happened to be in my office when he was talking about that, and my wife knows that I was fucking her. I mean, it's just sick.
Oh, so his wife was there when he said that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. He knew that he was having an affair with her.
Okay. Do you remember what his wife's name was?
I think I made a note of it, but I probably don't have that pad with me. She's from. She's a Mormon.
Mormon?
She's a Mormon, and she come from, because he was in the army.
Mormon or Muslim?
Muslim, sorry. Muslim, yes. Yeah. Heavy-set lady, dark hair, solid body, very nice. She was so embarrassed that she left the office and went in the car. She couldn't hear it anymore. She didn't want no part of it. And she apologized to me. Okay. That's when I started having, he told me that I have to have another office. He won't let me key to my office. He even took the key from the other office. I'm glad he's out of there.
Has he contacted you since he left?
No. Excuse me. The day that he left, let me show you this so that way. I left to go to Edgewater, made a left on Fairbank, and they were in front of me with the trailer that Winter Park never gave them when we had I don't know if you know that accident that we had on Fairbank. You know well of that accident?
Something about backing into him or something?
Right.
Okay.
He claimed that I hit him.
Okay.
Yeah. His what happened at that day. See this address, Oviedo?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Here when I hit that, told me to go to Fairbank, make a left to take a Loma, and right into swimming. When I was following them, I was behind the trailer. He was in the very front. There was a car behind me with the police. I think it was an Impala. Soon, I guess they raid each other. He came back right in front of me, and I was in Fairbank just before you get the first light before under the bridge. Wymore? Mm-hmm. Wymore Road. He slammed the brake, he came back, and I was in the passing lane. This is 2 lanes going east and 2 lanes going west, and you have a turning lane in the middle. Soon he saw me, he came into this lane, because I was a truck in front of me with this trailer. He slammed the brake. Thank God that I was quick enough, and I went right in the center lane, and I stopped. He took his bike and parked right in front of me. I'm trying to back up, but there's another cruiser behind me. I couldn't go nowhere. I was so nervous that I was going to take a video of it, but by this time I was shaking. I thought, what's going to happen? Is he going to pull a gun on me? I don't know what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. He finally moved a little bit, so I finally backed up enough, and I went around and took off. When I got to the Fairbank, I seen the rest of his unit stop there, so I pulled over, and he pulled right behind me. He says, I'm calling the cops. I thought, perfect. When he called the 2 of them. They asked me for my ID. They asked me for insurance. I was driving a Lexus, the 4-door SUV. I sat there. They checked me out. They come back, and he says, I guess you can go. I said, sir, is there any problem with me? He says, sir, we looked at your vehicle. There's no scratch in your vehicle. I told him where I was going. I showed him my phone.
So why were they asking you for the information? Was somebody claiming there was an
Oh,
accident?
yeah, he claimed that I hit his motorcycle.
Okay.
Oh, do you want me to show you his police report?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I get everything. We usually
What ended up happening to the tow truck?
He's got it.
Okay, and you do?
No, not in that truck. I guess you know the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah.
Do you have anything in writing that says you're supposed to have a lien?
No.
Okay. Do
No,
you have
I-
any text messages where he
Yes.
said he was putting a lien for the
Yes.
tow truck?
He was going to start making payments on it, and we're going to have a lien on it. And I
And
guess
you have text messages that say that for the tow truck?
I think the only thing I have in my tow truck is he was going to start making some payments towards the payment.
Okay.
But I have checks that I can show you guys that when we was send me 50%, and he did that one check. That's the lien that was registered. And this vehicle here, sir, the 2008.
When he actually registered a different vehicle for the
Right,
lien and not
right.
the tow truck.
And he showed her that DMV they paid $1,000, and I have a bill that paid $15,000. See when he registered the 16th. And this vehicle here, 2008, it's a pickup truck, $1,500 pickup truck. The truck that I have the VIN number and I have
He
the title.
registered when?
The 16th. That's when he put a lien on. I don't know when he did the title
16th of what?
work. Of July. July, yeah. When
Okay,
did
but
when did he do the title work? Does it show you here? Did he do
I think
that?
the paperwork. Oh no, June 21st is when he purchased it.
Yes, sir. That's when he sent me the text. Does it tell us when he registered the vehicle? A date of issue. You know what? The title. I have a picture of the title of the vehicle, but it's still registered to the guy that repaired it.
That repaired it.
They put a new engine in it. That's they told us.
Who put a new engine in it?
The guy from Tampa.
Okay, so the one you bought it from, they put
Right.
a new engine in it.
Yeah.
And the truck right now is still registered to him?
Yes, and he's working already, and I don't get a dime.
How do you know it's registered to the guy in Tampa?
I have a picture of it.
But you said he transferred the title to
No, when we went there, I have a picture of the title and the bill of sale before I left. The day before. The next day he went back with the cash.
Gotcha.
That's when he came back, the 16th. I thought he did the next day. He told me he already done it, so obviously. But the 16th, that's when I saw the title with the truck and the car. But the tow vehicle that I have, that I purchased, that I tried to purchase, it is the title for that vehicle.
I noticed at your place you have a lot of different cars there.
Storage.
But you said a lot of those are your cars. You collect cars.
Yes.
When was the last time you sold a car?
Oh my goodness. 3 months ago.
Okay.
Yep. But the one in the middle is a friend of mine that is parking there. The one that real kind of junky real. His name is Ronald. He used to own a body shop. He used to own a repair parts store, and that's his father's collection. And he's been there with me for probably 10 years. They're not mine. There are about 12 of them.
So like that little Mini that was there, the little smart car. Is that yours?
No, that's mine.
Okay, and
That's
all the
our-
cars right there next to there. Those
yes.
are yours?
Yes, sir.
That's what you told me.
Yeah.
So, what do you do? Buy cars and sell them, or?
Well, I do a project. I buy them. I think I know what I want to do with it, and then next day I'm with the kids or I'm doing something else. So I lost a little bit of interest, but I do have a lot of. I even have a Harley, but I haven't drove it for a year and a half.
Okay.
So yeah, the title for that vehicle. Okay, this is the truck that he put a lien on it.
Okay.
And if you look at that VIN number, matches this one, and I got several pictures of it with the VIN number and all. Here's the VIN number.
Okay.
That's the 2008.
It's in there.
Huh?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's the one. The one that we went to Tampa for is the bill of sale. with the VIN number for that truck, and there's the title. Same thing. But this is the pickup truck that you saw pictures of it, and that's the bill of sale from the people in Tampa. I took these pictures.
And he was supposed to put a lien against what vehicles?
The tow truck.
Just one vehicle or more than one?
And the SUV, the Suburban. And I think he did that one right.
The Tahoe that he drives?
Yes. I got a lien on that one. Watch this. You got to see this. I think the man just... Okay, this is a letter to my attorney. Read that for yourself if you don't mind.
And this is from who?
From my attorney.
Okay, but I mean...
The guy that evicted him. David...
This is a letter from your attorney to Jeremy?
No, from his attorney to my attorney.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is from your attorney.
No, his attorney sent that letter to my attorney saying, this is going to be ugly. We're going to be in court because your customer...
So who's Mark Lippman?
That's the lawyer for his
That's
lawyer.
his lawyer?
Yes, it is. Yes. That's for the lawyer for when you got arrested at Windermere. And when I got him eviction, his lawyer went to my lawyer, but he's never responded. That's the guy that defended Mark Anthony. Or not Mark Anthony, the father, I think. Mark, skinny guy. He's got an accent. He's...
Buddy, last.
But did you see what he said? That I'm the one that put the lien on those vehicles. I wasn't even in the country. And how can I put a lien in your vehicle without you giving me the title? So the attorney's convinced that Jeremy told him that I'm the thief to put a lien on those vehicles. Why did I do that? Incredible. Incredible. Never in my life. I was excited for my daughter, I guess. Have another baby. They're all healthy.
Good.
So, I'm complaining one side of it, but I should say thank you. And it's tough. It's tough. No reason.
All right, so basically, this case is going to be ugly.
Yes.
As you are probably aware, my client is out of the property. I am still going to be filing later today for a motion to determine rent, comma, NOA, which I'm not sure what that means, and an answer to your 2-count complaint. Also, we'll be filing a counterclaim. Your client has filed 2 liens on my client's vehicles and apparently may have forged some signatures. Can we talk Monday?
He's never called them since.
Did your lawyer call him?
Nope.
Okay.
And my lawyer has an opinion that this guy is ambiguous.
Is what?
He's not very
What?
reputable.
Okay.
Because he never answered when we evicted him.
So what are the 2 counts that you are filed against him? What are those 2 counts?
The 2 counts that I'm filing against him?
Yeah.
Because I didn't. Oh, he was going to get to evict him. We did 2 ways. He did it. It was an eviction in 3 days, and then rid of our possession. So we did two choices. That's why he left so quick.
Okay.
Because he never answered either one of them. Because I have a feeling this attorney probably never got.
All right. So he sent that letter to you. Okay. So what else?
That's the last time I heard from them.
Okay.
That's the last time we heard from them.
Okay. What was the attorney you were trying to show me when you came in? Before we started taping, you showed me a picture of a attorney's name on your phone. Who was that?
Oh, that's the guy that's to put that thing in a newspaper about you guys charging him and he's fighting it. You didn't see that?
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. They're suing Orange County. He's suing Orange County or something.
Okay.
And this attorney is the one that represent him, I think.
Okay, so this is a different attorney you were talking about.
Yes, he's the guy that.
He has not. That attorney has not contacted you though.
No,
Okay.
no. This attorney was given to me when. How I got this Jonas name, because he sent them. He said this lawyer is better than Mark Jennings, Morgan and.
So he sent you this attorney's name.
Correct.
Did you ever contact that
I
attorney?
called him and he called me back. He said, I'm on my way to the office. I'll call you when I get there. That's the last time he called me.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
My feeling, if you look at some of these charges that I've been involved with, there we are. Okay. You read this one, the one in Lee wrote, that he made this statement. This is the Windermere.
What's the Windermere thing?
His arrest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is the Fairbank, and he mentioned about that girl again. Oh, that's my neighbor, sorry. They want to get some trees down. I told him it's okay. Yeah. Cents. $2,000 later.
So what's he's another attorney that you're using for
Correct.
the eviction part.
Correct.
And okay. And
I think before when we're done, I'd like to talk to you about that. If it's something of it's. This is the Fairbank. If you want to read that, he talks about again about me.
None of that. So
Pardon me?
it's none of that. So
But the testimony that he.
no, I understand. This has already been investigated. So it would be, if anything was. Help us better understand, the relationship between, you and Jeremy. Increasingly what we're finding is that, everybody's got these stories about their dealings with Jeremy, and it's really kind of.
Am I coming across, sir, that I'm not telling you the way it is?
No.
Okay, because
No.
I swear to God, it's.
I understand.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
understand.
for him to tell me that I didn't want to. I made a mistake. He's a very professional.
oh, you want to read that?
Is that the one in Fairbank? Oh, see, he talks about that again too.
Yeah. Who was the star that was there? Is that one of his employees?
The one behind me with the Impala.
Okay, so she was an employee as well.
Yes. But by the way, the work compensation board came to my office the next day.
Workers' comp.
Yep. And they told me that they're not employees. I get hundreds of texts in here. Don't talk to my employees. If you want them to do anything for you, it's $20 an hour.
Yeah, we're already dealing with that with him. So
Yeah.
he already knows that they're employees.
Okay. Question to you is, do you know if he's still dealing with U-Haul?
Well, you have a contact there. You could call and find out.
Yeah, but when they took the vehicle out of here, because I told him that he was going to be evicted and he's got an issue that is, I didn't want to deal with him. I don't want to be the guy that squeals on him and say, look, this guy is a sex offender. But he gave, my lawyer gave me that too, and I'm sure you probably have it. He's got faults. There it is. Are you aware of this? I'm sure you probably do. He's former corporation under false identification of a name. under Florida statutes, it's against the law.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't find out who he was. He gave me the false ID.
When you say he gave you a false ID, what do you mean?
See the way he formed the corporation? He used a different name. Under that, you spell the name different.
So where did he misspell? I don't see what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't?
I see there, he has there.
Yeah, he's wrong.
This is just the statute that says you can't do that.
Right, but he spelled it wrong. See the way he spelled his last name?
His last name, Dewitte?
Yeah. And his first name...
But did he do that, or did somebody type in something incorrect?
No, that's in the statute in Florida, in the state. And he misrepresented himself for a different name. That's why U-Haul and I, we don't...
What is 96 Columbia Street?
I think that's where he used to live, and he didn't register, and he went back to jail August 6th, because he failed to register. 7/20, he got picked up for not registering. Because when he changes address, he's got to register.
Right.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah. But my attorney said it's, as far as he's concerned, that's against the law for him to register a name in Florida statute under a false name.
But how do you know he did this?
Well, because it's under the Sundays.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can set up a corporation for you, and I can type everything in. That's my question.
But
You know what I'm saying?
he's got Metro Corporation under false identity. Wouldn't he be responsible? He's the guy that said he owns it.
Right. But do you understand what I'm saying? I could have a bookkeeper say, hey, set me up a corporation, and they type everything in, and they do it all for him and just send him the paperwork.
So you say you can't prove who did it.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
See what I'm saying?
Good point.
Because it's the act in and of itself that's illegal. It's the act of doing it. That's what the statute.
So in other words, I
tries to
could
tell
play
you.
dumb and says, oh, go
I didn't do
ahead.
that. What evidence would we have to the contrary?
Yeah,
Wow.
you could say he had somebody do it for him. So.
Wow.
They
That's
just
not-
misspelled my name, or
That's funny. My lord never picked that up. That's
So.
very smart.
What else do you have? Where's the little contracting that you all, the letter of intent for what you all are going to do for business?
Yep. This is the only 2 checks I ever received. That one is self-explanatory about U-Haul, and that's his rent. Yes.
How much do you get from renting a U-Haul? Now, how do you know that that was the amount from the rental trucks?
That's what he told me. He never showed it to me.
How much would you normally get from one? Let's say somebody comes and rents a truck for 2 days.
It's all self-explanatory.
But what would you... So that's 30,
No, that's 50%.
Right.
That's my 50%.
So what I'm saying
Just
is,
over $300.
so he would have had to rent like 12 trucks.
Yeah. But he was only there for about a week when the things started coming in.
Okay.
Because he had to wait to get approved, and he had to send a letter on it. I didn't want to put it in my name because I want him to be responsible, and he's the guy who was going to have the ambulance and all that. I said, hey, I'd be happy to do that. That's how I got
And I'm
involved.
going to hold these right here because I want to make copies of this. What else do you have?
Oh, you want to see the... Good luck.
Okay, this.
Did you want to see anything with the commission that he was going to pay me back with the truck? Do you need this?
Yeah, if you have that. Is that
Yes.
only on your phone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Was that like a document or just text messages?
Text messages. Back and forth, yeah.
Now, who did all the writing on here?
He did.
This is all his writing.
And what's her name? Jessica. Yeah, when I met with him. Yeah.
Did she sign this too, or just him?
Just him.
And what's this 18,000 right here?
That's when he was going to repay me for the truck, and he was going to make these payments, 12 payments. Yep.
Paid in what? In 1
Year.
year.
Yep.
12 payments, 18,000.
Yep.
And this July 25th, 2019. But you don't have any kind of
Nothing.
a VIN number on here. It just says you're making $18,000 payments and 12 payments, right?
Right.
That's all it says.
Yep.
Starting August 1st.
And he was going to make the payments of the 15th of the month for
How
the
many
truck.
cars have you sold?
How many cars that he sold?
No, how many cars have you sold? You said about 3 months ago you sold a car. How many cars have you sold in the last 2 years?
Probably a dozen or
A
less.
dozen?
Yeah.
Do you ever sell them without getting the VIN number or anything like that off of it?
Always.
Do you ever buy a car without making sure the VIN's accurate and everything?
Oh, always.
So what happened here?
I didn't sell it to him.
Yeah, but you went and purchased it. The point I'm trying to make is
I know.
you understand about business. You sell and buy cars, right?
He's got 5, 6 vehicles, 6, 7 motorcycle. I told 10 years ago, 15 years ago with the one motorcycle. Look at me now. A truck that is practically brand new engine. Do you mind to go with me and have your opinion? I went there. I took a picture of the title. I took a picture of the inventory. We drove it. He tried everything. I'm not a truck driver. I'm not a tow truck. So I thought, perfect. The next day, my daughter goes in the hospital. So now I got make a choice. He's going to lose the truck. I already looked at the truck. I already have the invoice. I already have the VIN number.
Yeah, but when did you sign that? That was after the fact. That
Yes.
was July,
Yes.
right? You bought the
Yeah.
truck in June.
Yeah.
And you signed that in July. Why wouldn't you put the VIN number or something down on there that says at least it's for a tow truck?
You're absolutely right. I already had all that information. And when I keep calling him, I say, look, I said, I need to, he was going to give me the title for all the cars he had for my loan.
Mhm.
What do you want to do? He said, I'm about to give you my 2 best unit, the truck, of course, and his SUV, the Yukon that he's driving.
The truck. Which
Yeah.
truck?
It's a GMC.
So who's going to give you those 2 titles?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
He never did. He said, I'm just going to put a lien on it. I'm in Canada with my wife.
So he was not originally going to put a lien on the tow truck.
No. The reason we did that is when I give you the money, is we're going to have that truck to open up our business, and I'm going to own half of it. But he was going to make a payment on it. I said, okay, you run your thing on it. I said, I'll give you the yard. I said, whatever you think is fair, you run it. In other words, I didn't want to work anymore. Not that I want to work. I'm enjoying what I was doing with my cars, buy and sell and whatever. So I didn't have a job, but then I have to be there a certain time. I'd be there, whatever. So when I give you the money at the hospital, as far as I'm concerned, I was dealing with a police officer. He's got a badge. He wears a gun. Where am I going to go wrong? I can't thank you enough. Thank you. His wife thanked me.
All right, so you felt comfortable because of what he had told you, who he is, and what he does and everything.
When you guys showed up with your motorcycle, wouldn't it be crazy for him to say, John, can I see your ID before I start talking to you? I don't know if you're, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he even had a vest. It was a 96, 97 degrees that day.
But you did ask him for his driver's license.
Yes, I did. Get it to him. Every time I ask him, always, he never said no. Just, I don't have it with me. Oh, I left it in the other car. And sometimes I could believe that because sometimes I have a wallet. I switch cars. I put it in a glove box before I know I'm driving out of the vehicle. So what I'm saying is, it was almost like, but I was embarrassed for me to keep asking for him when it is the girl that she came in there, she was all dressed up too. She gave me the driver license. He's got a bullet vest and guns and all that. I feel like, a jerk. By the way,
So when you asked for the driver license, she gave hers, but he didn't give his.
Correct.
And that's why you have the picture of it.
Correct. And she was the partner. We're together. We're going to, and that piece of paper here, I think she had a lot to do with it. But when we finished it, she was gone. Because the F and B, I don't need her.
So she wasn't there the day that was filled out?
No, the wife was. She wasn't. And that's when he told me, well, my wife knows that I was having a F and with the N lady.
All right, so did his wife fill out it at all? Or
No, she had nothing to do. She was sitting there with her little dog. Since they lost the baby, they have a, what do they call a dog? They support you.
Kind of like a
Support
therapy
animal.
dog, support animal?
I'm sorry?
Support animal.
Right.
Therapy dog?
Yeah, she sat in the chair, and that's all she was doing, just, and you can tell that she was, and I apologized to her a couple of times. I said, John, Jay, I said, why use that language? He said, she knows all about that. I mean, it just went.
Okay. Let me hold on that piece. What else do you have?
Did you read about the Fairbank accident?
Mm-hmm. I don't need that. We have a copy where, that's the
you
sheriff's
did?
office made that.
It's an informational report anyway. They
Yeah.
didn't
It is,
find-
yeah.
Yeah, they didn't find anything.
Oh, the thing about the vehicle. You're welcome to start it from here and just keep right on going.
So he told you his wife does not like Jess?
Right. That's her.
Who's that?
That's his business. Yeah.
Oh, yes, okay.
That's the day they took my keys. I went in the office and I said, "Can I have that business card?" So I left my keys and I was looking at this. Say, "Here, I gotta go." My keys was in the office. Never give it back to me. I never been this stupid, but I deserve it. I deserve it. Sad.
Well, if you had a major complaint with all the different avenues that you guys went, because you very quickly began entering into a business relationship with each other, it seems, right? This wasn't a relationship that was developed over time. It was, very quick, it seemed. If you had a major complaint, against Jeremy Dewitte, what would it be? Your biggest problem?
He conned me. Every time I see him, I said, John, why I keep saying John, Jay, those vehicles can't be parked there on top of the septic tank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. okay, I'll handle it, but I gotta go. I would call away. You can see some of the text message here. It's unbelievable. He nursed me like a little kid with diapers. He was good what he did. And eventually I said to myself, you know what, this has got to be stopped. And the father of Jessica, which apparently he's not, he didn't want nothing to do with him. In a matter of a week.
Yeah.
So now I got product that I bought. They want to close this thing, and I'm the babysitter. You know, sir, it's okay. Don't worry. I'll handle it. I'll help you.
Okay, so you you purchased the materials to enclose one of your.
Correct.
Okay.
The roof.
And that never came to fruition because Jeremy didn't. He either left the property or he didn't keep.
No,
up
he
his
did
end
portion
the
of it. He did portion of it. I give him a credit, and I think he did pay him to do the wall. I paid him for do the roof.
Okay.
I got the material to do all the roof, like the property,
Okay.
because it was all damaged. So I ordered 16 by 13, which is
And because he was renting the space, had he because he was renting the space,
yes, sir.
had he had to leave the property, he would have had to leave that portion
Correct.
there. So
Correct.
you would have retained use of that
Correct.
that portion of the property. Okay, and was there an understanding that he would be reimbursed for a portion of what he paid to improve?
He was going to stay with me till.
Well, of course he was, but he didn't.
Right.
So in other words, there was not an agreement.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But he knew
But you
that
still
when
retain.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
And I'm surprised because I had a guy there that was there 24 hours a day. Because he started tearing things up. I got buses. He took all the batteries out of my buses. He's made a lot of damages. But
That's an unrelated person that's breaking into your property.
No, it's him. We saw him.
It's Jeremy.
Yes. They took a lot of my personal property, including mess up one of my Porsche. The lock, it's all gone.
And Jeremy Dewitte was doing that.
Well, he had those boys that was working for him, the employees, they're little puppets. I'll give you an example. I just had a surgery for my hernia, and I have a gentleman that he's got to move his trailer because we had the storm. He had to get his jet skis out of the water. His ambulance was sitting towards the jet ski trailer. So I asked one of the guys, he says, can you please help me so the man can come and get it? Because the ambulance, he promised he was going to move it. He's never moved it. So I asked one of the guys to help me to move the trailer so the gentleman could come and get it. Now, I just had surgery.
Yeah.
He says, no, I can't help you. He said, it's against my boss's rule. He said, if something happened to me. So he texts me, and it's in there too. He said, if you want my staff to do anything for you, it's $20 an hour.
Okay.
Just by moving a trailer that he was
but still,
blocking.
Yeah.
And I lost that customer, which is my fault. When he brought that vehicle, he had 2 ambulances under the bay. They were supposed to be ready to go. He bought 2 more. And he
How
said,
did he purchase these? You?
oh, he convinced me very well.
So it's not just the $15,000 for
No,
the tow truck.
No, it's the $15,000 cash that I gave it to him.
Okay.
But I have a credit that I kept saying to him. He said, look, whatever you need, and just tell me. If you look at this contract here,
No, but just explain to me what
I had an open check for him for up to $75,000. That's all he had.
From him?
No, from me. If you needed money up to $75,000, that's all I have to do. Just get it.
Okay, and how does that work?
It's a floor plan through the bank.
Okay.
So you need.
He had access to it?
No, thank God for that. No, he had to go through me, and I wasn't in town. So that saved me.
Okay.
The only thing physically he's got is 15, plus 8,000 is supply.
So was he able to borrow money based off your?
Correct. But he never activated it. Because I wasn't here and I was with my wife, which she's no longer with me. She doesn't understand the mistake I made. She just... I'm not very pleasant either, so it's not just her fault. I go home and she wants to hear the story. What's going on? How did you get rid of it? I said, I'm done with you. I can't handle it. I don't feel like there's I mean, if you look at that video, it tells the story about me.
So, because he was able to open up a credit account based off your open...
I was in the ambulance. When the girl never got part of it because she was F this, I said, I want to cool off. I said, right now I have any issues. I have to go and be with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So only thing I'm going to do is right now I'm going to write you that check for that $15,000. Oh, he already had it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. So basically I stopped because of my family circumstances.
Okay, but the ambulances show up after that, right?
No, he had 2 ambulances already.
Okay.
He went to one to Chicago and apparently bought it for $1,500 or something. I mean, if you look at it, it'll be a weight lift.
Yeah.
I crushed the vehicle worse than that.
Mm-hmm.
So when he come back, he said, Tony, I'm going to need the... When I started seeing him going in his own way and locked me out of my own office, I said to myself, Tony, I said, look, I said, you can stop this train. I said, I'm willing to work with you. I said, but you got to stop what you're doing. I say, that's not the way we agreed on it. I say, you're going to work, but you have to look after the business. You can't block people from coming in and out of the office. Mm-hmm. And I said, it's a business that I have. The people's paying me $100 a month to have his motorhome. They can plug in, he can drive out, take his wife for breakfast, and come back. Mm-hmm. He was blocking everybody. I'm running this. I mean, everybody was scared of him. You would wear a jacket and a bulletproof jacket. Mm-hmm. You couldn't miss it if you want to. One of my son-in-law used to be in office. This and quite a bit. Mm-hmm. To wear that jacket at 90 degrees, or your bulletproof jacket, mm-hmm. It's uncomfortable, am I right?
Yeah.
Every day. A gun, a taser, and handcuffs walking around. I mean, he was pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. I would not question that guy for anything. If he said, think twice on it.
Where did you get this government watch list notice?
At Google.
Google?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Hello? Okay. Are you heading back to the office? Okay. All right. I was still going through. Let me look at. Yeah.
I have a video when he's talking about the black folks. If you want to see that, I have it in there too. Yeah. Pretty degrading.
All right. So he told you he was injured in the war, I guess, in 2011.
Yes. Yes. Did you read about the cops at the sheriff's office and the mayor of Orlando? And
yeah,
yeah, he was one-on-one with them. If that was
and,
you without the knowledge you have now.
Says I came home from war and injured in 2011 and started a state company with the blessing of all of the Tri-County Sheriff's offices and the mayor of Orange County and Orlando. So I know I'm a man and I honor my word, but I can promise you I'm not the man to test. I did not get to this point in life letting people try to influence or intimidate me. I promise you will regret trying to hurt me. I will honor my end.
See the part where it says I'm 1,000% honest? It's amazing. I'm guilty.
So what are you doing now to try to rectify this?
I taking my beating.
You haven't tried, your attorney, you haven't tried to file suit or a writ of replevin for that tow truck?
I don't have a clue if he owns anything. I don't have a... What I'm saying is I made a mistake. I have a family problem.
You have a certificate of title for that.
I don't have a piece of paper that I own it. I
But
don't.
for the two other vehicles, you could still file a civil claim against Jeremy Dewitte.
Did you hear what his lawyer says? That I forged the signature. I'm spending thousands of dollars on lawyers that I just have to just walk away from it. I don't think I have a second choice.
So he told you his wife almost died just recently?
Yep. And he called me one day. He said his wife works with Orlando baby place. She's
His
a
wife
nurse.
does?
Yeah.
Jeremy's?
Yeah.
He told you that, or
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. No, he told me. Because that's why he couldn't pay his rent. 4 months he beat me that $1,400. It was no-brainer. What did they want to do? And the guy, apparently the one in Fairbank, he's got the ambulance. They're making $2 million a year. Somebody needs an ambulance, they call the Orange County or Seminole County.
Mm-hmm.
They call them, and they charge them fortune. What do? You got a sick person. Smart. That's why I couldn't go to the office, because he had drugs in those motorhomes, and they were plugged in. That's why they were inside there. When you came into my office, they were covered up, because the light had getting wore down. So that's why we built that shed, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I went for 1,000% that he was one of your gentlemen. My son-in-law. I mean, wonderful father, wonderful producer.
Has this ever happened to you before, where somebody has done this to you and they took advantage of you? And
One guy only. He
When
came
was
to
that?
me when my brother lost his wife
when was that?
with cancer, about probably 10 years ago. And my brother lost his wife in cancer. I was coming back from Canada. I had my phone forward. I guess some of my staff, when they had to go somewhere, they forwarded my phone. This guy called me. He said, sir, he said, you buy motorhomes? I said, certainly. He said, this thing is $250,000. I said, sir, I can't help you there. I said, I don't have that. We don't use that kind of equipment. I guess we rent them. It's too much money to put on the street. He said, can you help me? I just lost my wife. She died. That's her baby. I want no memories. Now, the way it hit me is my brother, his wife, was already dead for 2-3 months. Even the shoes and the hats and the dance, and to this day, everything's still at home. So I thought, I want to help this man. So he showed up about a week later. He drove up, came out of his motorhome, started crying about his wife. I said, sir, only thing I can do for you is I belong to the auction in Ocoee. I said, it's one of the biggest. I said, I'd be happy to help you. I can get a good number. I know the manager. And you make a decision. To make a long story short, we sold that unit with his permission. And when I sold, it was a friend of mine from Cocoa that has a Ford dealer. His work is it's so iffy. So I took the motorhome to Independent RV. And it was a factory wrap. They even fixed air conditioning. I gave him a certified check. I took him to El Fresco at the Lee Road. I gave him a car to go see his daughter up in Villages. Not even two years later, I get a phone call from the FBI. The victim. I said, about what? He said, we investigated one of your units you sold. I said, sir, I'm self-employed. I've been here for all the years. I have employees. I said, but 90% of the stuff, I go through it. I said, you sure? I said, what kind of vehicle are you talking about? He says, a motorhome with $250,000. I said, sir, you got the wrong guy. I said, that man cried all the time that I was with him. I even took him for dinner. And he cried at the restaurant. I said, his wife, he said, sir, he said, you're a victim. I had to go to Maitland the next week. I had to identify, they do a lineup. I almost fainted.
A victim for what?
Stolen vehicle. This guy did $6 million. He was in jail. He came out of jail for doing the same thing. The last guy that he nailed was a cop. They gave him 7 years straight. He's in his 50s. He came out of October, I think November 2nd or 3rd. I was number 2 on the list. $6 million from Michigan.
What was he doing?
Buying vehicle, stolen vehicle, changed the VIN number, changed the address and everything. He's doing 30 years. I had to pay for that.
So, how much did you give him for the motorhome?
$250,000.
Oh, you gave $250,000.
Yeah, and I had to pay the auction because it was a stolen vehicle. It's my dealership. Either being bankrupt, which if I did that, I still had to, because I can't deal anymore. I still have license. So I had no choice. Either pay it or go work for McDonald's. That's the only time I had any issues.
Okay.
$250,000. It's, I explained it. We don't get along because she's continued to talk about yesterday. Like, I got to do this. Why don't you go to this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? My wife has been with me for 47 years. I worked, but she was a wonderful mother, a wonderful wife, wonderful leader for the kids, but she's not a businesswoman. And every time we have an issues, it's always true. Why? And I said to her, look, I'm tired of it. Well, she left about I'm saying to myself, what did I do to this man? 4 acres. I told him, I said, help yourself. U-Haul. I got a message still there today. They want to rent a U-Haul because I still got a sign. Man, he's got to be sick. He's got to have a mental problem. Look at that lady. They went in to pick up her own son, with a gun. I mean, how would kind of a brains? And I think that's what happened to this man. I think I don't know what I can do. I would love to see you guys put him somewhere he's going to get help. Because he's going to hurt. If that Fairbank, if I wasn't the type of driver that I am, and I look like I'm bragging, but I'm certified bus drivers and all that stuff, when he let that down, I went right in the center lane, I would have killed that guy if I wasn't that type of driver I was.
All right, so today you're just coming down to let us know. What was the purpose? You called Sergeant Vidler and you said you wanted to get with him because you had information. What is? Did you have
the information with the contract and the information about what he did with at Fairbank.
Okay.
I mean, the police released me.
Yeah, no, I read the report.
Then they called me back. I came back.
No, I know. It said you did, and the trooper talked to you.
And I proved to you that that's what I was going. You see the dates. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't that I was trying to be a cop. I was going to go see my granddaughter. Yeah. And I'm bragging about my granddaughter, but she's a number 9.
Appreciate you coming in and giving us the documentation and everything.
And I mean, like I said, I have everything that I can show you, and I have video of him talking about the black lady. Mm-hmm. And the reason I think the sergeant got upset with me when he mentioned about, he said to me, he says, the F a black bitch, she's going to end up chasing after you too, because apparently.
I mean, you have a lot of information here, and this is information more for civil purposes for you. Okay, it's not going to help us. I mean, you can bring us the reports, but those reports are generated by the sheriff's office, so we can pull those ourselves from the deputies that did them.
What about my video with him lying about me?
Yeah, but that's what is he lying about? What was he saying?
I grabbed her and hit her. And
that's.
What's going to end up? Do you have any idea? No crystal ball?
Well, it's an ongoing investigation with us with Dewitte, so I can't discuss that with you. I can definitely take your information, and that's going to help us.
Think
and
I might have a peace of mind eventually?
I think you will have a peace of mind eventually.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay, but I can't. You can today, listen, you can go right now, walk into McDonald's and say that somebody hit you in there, punched you upside the head, there's no witnesses except you. You go to the police department and you file charges, and we have to take your word for it. We're going to file it, then the state has to say, is there enough evidence there that says that this is really what occurred? Yeah. And if they feel there is, then they move forward with charges. If they feel there isn't, then they say they're not going to prosecute.
See, my son is an upstanding guy like you guys are.
And interjecting yourself because you're going to make it worse for yourself. You got to stay away from Jeremy Dewitte. You got to stop. Listen, you got to stop calling any of his employees or anybody that worked for him or whatever. You don't need her dad or whoever it was.
Fairbank is done.
Yeah, listen, you don't need whoever Jessica's dad is. Find another person that does metal work or something. But
so if he calls me, I should not hire him? Because apparently he's not his effing father.
Well, it doesn't matter. I would just avoid any contact with anybody there that had anything to do with that.
Anything that smells funny.
Go find somebody else to do the work, okay? Forget about them. Find somebody else. Stay in contact with your lawyer. On occasion, call him. Not every day because he's not going to respond. Just check in with your lawyer on occasion. Every 3 weeks or so.
If you listen to his voicemail, you must think I'm the stupidest man in the world.
Listen, I had an attorney one time that she sat there and told me that that my retainer I had with her, I used it up by calling all the time and leaving messages, and never even got to talk to her. And I'm like, ugh. So that's what I'm telling you.
But
that's
lawyers.
Lawyers. Yes, because they have to check that. That cost takes them time. Lawyers get paid by the time. You call them, and you want to sit there and talk about your case and about your grandkids and about your wife and about your father and about your grandmother and about your dog. They'll let you talk because they're charging you. You're paying them by the hour. So that's why I said relax. I know it's hard, but just relax. If you didn't do anything wrong, then you shouldn't be worried about it. It's just the time of going through it.
This bothers me more than that guy take advantage of me of $250,000.
Okay, well.
I spent 2 weeks up in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah.
The building, it was the size of this, was dealer from all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
$6 million. Can you imagine? Mm-hmm. And every unit, different name, different title, different VIN number.
Yeah.
To me, when he walked in there, Jeremy, was one of your gentlemen. Mm-hmm. And watching my son-in-law get dressed at home.
Yeah.
I was right at home.
So, okay. All right.
Well, I guess I wouldn't know till...
Yeah, I would just... I know it stinks that you have to wait, but I would just...
It's uncomfortable.
It is.
For me...
But just you're going to have to relax and wait, okay?
Where's that button?
Yeah. I'm going to stop this.
Property from off of Lee Road.
Oh, Tony.
Tony, okay. Just like with him, when you stole the money from him for the tow truck.
I stole money?
Well, kind of in a roundabout way you did, yeah. So when you told him you were going to put the lien against your two vehicles, and you came in and told me that you didn't, that he did it, that he lied about it, and that he must have gone into the DMV, and then I told you I was waiting on the paperwork, and it came back.
Good.
It came back with all your signatures on it.
My signatures?
Absolutely, your signatures.
You can verify.
But here, this is what makes it worse, is you said you never did that. You never took any money from him. But you recorded videos of him, right? And
in fact,
you got the you got the camera hidden like this, and
it's not hidden. It was on the counter, and guess what? The signs in my office clearly state that and at all times, audio and visual recordings.
Yeah,
and what's funny is we're in the meeting, and he says, what did he say? He said, I was going to give you the loan, and I said, I know, and I X'd it out. You didn't give it to me.
That's not what you said.
Uh-huh.
That's not what you said.
Right.
Okay? That's not what you said at all.
Okay.
Because you recorded it. And for somebody who didn't take it, and you're going to say you X'd it out, so why would he ask you for the keys? And you go, here you go. Your wife was there too. You go, here you go, here are the keys. You give him the keys to the vehicles, and he says to you, well, which ones are they? And your comment back, the smart aleck kind of way that you are, is, you want me to say it or you want to say it?
No,
I know you remember.
I don't even remember.
Oh, you say something to the effect of, aren't you a car sales guy? Wouldn't you know?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's funny? It was,
But then it's like...
Wait.